That is a lot of Crocs. A lot of Crocs. I'm Danny Gregory. This is Draw With Me. And welcome. Welcome. And we're going to do some drawing. Here's JJ. Nice smile.
I wasn't
expecting to be on television today.
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes things happen and you're not totally prepared for them. And that was one of those times.
I know. That was a lot of crocodiles.
I can't believe how many amazing Crocs. I love the variety, the different approaches. I think it was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of Crocs. Thank you all for
Crocs
sending them.
rock, as Chris Seidel said. Those Crocs rock. They did rock.
Do you remember when I tried wearing Crocs and you absolutely put your foot down?
I mean, it was really before. I mean, the first time I think I ever saw you, we were co-workers, and you were wearing Crocs, and I thought somebody should tell him.
I should marry that man.
Somebody should tell him. Give him the help that he so desperately needs.
Oh my God, it's true. Now I'm just barefoot all the time, so I guess that's an improvement.
Mm-hmm. Anything is an improvement over Crocs, like a foot covered in planter's warts.
I bet you there's a lot of people out there wearing Crocs.
Children are allowed to wear Crocs.
Chefs,
I guess.
Gardeners.
Look, it's not my preference, but you do you.
I do. Well, thanks for being here, JJ. So today is May the 4th.
May the 4th.
And it sounds kind of like you're a lisping Star Wars character. May the 4th be with you. And today it's I don't know how it's celebrated, May the 4th. Do you know how it's celebrated exactly?
I mean, I think any cause for a celebration, people probably get together and raise a glass. You know, like the fun bar scene in Return of the Jedi.
Right.
I think that's an appropriate way to celebrate May the 4th.
That's true. So we're going to celebrate it, whether you like Star Wars or not.
I mean, who doesn't like Star Wars? Star Wars is so imaginative.
There's one in every crowd. But I think as an artist, Star Wars is a perfectly viable thing to like. You know, it has been going on since, was it
1977?
1977.
Well, and probably for years before that when George Lucas was making this thing.
That's true. There's an incredible documentary, by the way. I think it's on the Disney Channel, which is all about how it's about the kind of the creation of the early days of George Lucas and his production
I mean,
studio.
it was a like real merry band of misfits.
It was really, really.
But they also just didn't have a lot of adult supervision, so they kind of did whatever they wanted. It was sort of like the dream before, the boss man. Then it was successful, and the boss man came in.
But they brought in a lot of amazing different kinds of technical people, and I remember going to see it. So I was 16 or 17, and I remember going to see it with my friend Walton Ford, and then we came out of it, and we were
Walton Ford, who is a great artist, if you don't know him.
But we went back to his house, and his mother had this stove that you could push the buttons, and it would change the temperature. And we were standing at the stove, like pushing all the buttons back and forth, changing the temperature, as if we were like,
I feel like we might have done that with a microwave. We might have like early gen microwave, and we might have busted it.
But Kathy raises a glass of blue milk.
Yes.
I remember we made blue milk. We had some blue food dye. We put it into the milk. We were just like, it's got to taste great because it's blue milk. So yeah, that was really fun. So good. Yeah, Helen has apparently seen that documentary. Great. And then there's a lot of croc lovers.
I know. Yeah, I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm just.
All right, we're moving on. Yeah. We're talking about Star Wars today. We're done with Crocs. So Star Wars. So here's the thing. Well, before we start into our actual project, I just want to talk about our sponsor today, which is Winsor Newton. And specifically, we're going to talk about the Promarkers, which are, if you've never used watercolor markers, they're a phenomenal invention. Using markers, I like markers sometimes. Sometimes they can be sometimes problematic because in Sketchbook, sometimes you can get bleed through, but you're getting amazing colors. It's obviously very fast to do it. You could also sometimes get a bit of a fragrance coming off them. Not these watercolor markers, because they're watercolor. So they behave like watercolor when they're down on the page. And I've been using them for a long time now, and I have this beautiful set of them. I just love this set. And what's cool about this is you can take this thing, you can bend it back, and they stand up, so you can kind of like quick draw, grab one, do the same with this side. So I don't know, that's kind of a dorky little feature that I like. But yes, they're, and you'll see when I use them, they have like a fine point on one end, and they have a real brush marker on the other end, but they behave like watercolors, and I'll show you that. They behave like watercolors. You can put water on them, you can mix them.
And they're great colors.
And the colors,
really great colors.
And the colors are really nice. And so Winsor Newton is giving us a set to give away.
That's right.
And
I think a set of 6. That's a set of 6.
Set of 6. So yeah. So a great way to check them out. Just write to us if you'd like to be considered for the drawing. What is it? Is that what we call it? The drawing. Seems like a weird word to use.
The giveaway.
The giveaway. So write to us at info@sketchbookskool.com. You have to have a U.S. mailing address because we're sponsored by Winsor Newton U.S. Or you can write to us at our post office box, and we're going to be giving them away a set.
Yeah, tell us why you should win.
Yeah, why do you deserve these markers? What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them? Something fantastic, I'm sure. They're really fun.
Let's play with them right now.
Yeah, let's play with them. Okay, so
all right, so we probably need to make a little disclaimer about
let's explain.
Star Wars.
Let's start by explaining. Yeah, let's explain. So what the deal is with Star Wars. Normally, what we do is we go out and we get some reference pictures so that we can all be kind of drawing from the same thing. And so yesterday I was all excited about that, and I said, JJ, like, this is gonna be great. We're gonna draw C-3PO, and we'll draw the Ewoks and all that. And what did you say? Why? Why can't we do that?
You know, these are licensed characters, and we don't want to infringe on anyone.
We don't want George Lucas coming here to Phoenix and kicking our butts. Or his lawyers.
I think it's actually the Walt Disney Company's lawyers, since they now own Lucasfilm. But in every problem, there is a creative solution.
There is a creative solution, and we live kind of on the cusp of Star Wars, even though Star Wars actually happened. When did Star Wars happen in the future?
Many I don't know the answer to
Didn't
that.
happen in the future a long time ago.
Oh, interesting.
Remember that? A long time ago in a galaxy far away?
Interesting.
First words of Star Wars. It happened already.
That's a great point.
Right. So what?
Long time ago.
Yes, but we live in amazing times, nonetheless, technology speaking. So we are going to go to our friends, the AI robots, and ask them to create some reference for us. Okay. So I basically went to a couple of different places. I went to Midjourney, and I went to Adobe, that makes Photoshop and Illustrator. They also have their own service that they're rolling out that's really great, and that is called Firefly. So I asked them to make me just a futuristic kind of looking robot, and we're going to go through a bunch of different ones. So if you're thinking about your page and how much space you want to use, we're going to do these fairly quickly. You can spend more time on them if you want to, of course. But
do you want to say how many total? Because I think
they're going to be 5.
Design
they're going to be 5 altogether. 5. You don't have to do all of them. You can stay on 1 or 2. You can do whatever you like. But I'm going to try and rack out 5, and I want to use these watercolor markers too, of course. So so I want them to be colorful. Star Wars can sometimes be colorful, sometimes can be drab. So, but feel like, we're creating our own Star Wars, guys. We're creating our own. So
inspired by,
but also like maybe it's the next generation. Maybe these are the ones that are going to come about, right? So, these are the next generation. There's always coming out new ones, new things. So let's just like have fun and just kind of make some guys. And I'm not sure how big I want to make this guy, but I'm just going to put down some color. Yes, how nice and squidgy these markers are. I'm just going to put down a little bit of color, and you can again completely reinvent this guy. You don't need to in any way. I mean, this is just a robot's version of a robot, but you can do whatever you want to make it more appealing, or make it your own. And I think this is not a bad way to use. If some people have issues with some people have issues with using AI art, or they have issues with the fact that AI art even exists, which is kind of crazy. I just noticed, look at the feet.
Lisa pointed that out too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That could be an AI fail, but it could also be
a
like
really cool feature.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a little floating kind of hover.
Yeah, it's like if you need to go over a bridge, you can go over under at the same time, right? Like,
smart. Yeah, that is cool. And then I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use some kind of a marker. These are Winsor Newton markers. Let's see how that works. But I'm going to make my guy kind of almost like concept art. You know how
Hey, we got a question.
Yeah.
Do those markers work on gessoed cardboard? Have you ever tried that?
Watercolor on gesso seems a little unnecessary. I'm not sure. I guess it depends why you're using gesso.
It's a very existential question in the end.
Well, gesso is something that you usually use to stop your medium from absorbing into paper, which is kind of what watercolor does best.
I mean, it might be a mixed media situation, just like getting layers in.
Okay, so the acerbic answer clearly is no, I haven't. But that isn't to say that you couldn't.
Try it. Let us know.
But it's kind of like, why bother using watercolor markers if that's what you're going to do? Like, why not use a regular marker? So I don't know. I haven't thought it through. I'm just speaking,
Yeah.
out of, the usual. I'm just being a blowhard about something I know nothing about. So this kind of looks like it's wearing a diaper. So maybe it's a baby. It's a baby droid,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's very cute. It's a bumblebee.
It is cute, yeah.
Wasn't there a Transformer that was a bumblebee?
No, there was a movie called Bumblebee that I think was a Transformer.
It was a Transformer, though,
yeah,
wasn't
you're
it?
right. Yeah, it was.
And it was a Volkswagen Bug. It was cute.
Oh, that's right. It became a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah. It was cute.
So what are some of your memories of Star Wars? What are your memories? Who did you go to the movie with originally?
I think I originally went with my brother, and I hadn't, at that point in my life, I was still quite young in 1977, and I hadn't been to too many movie theaters. I had probably limited amount of patience for sitting through quietly. But I just remember being mesmerized. But of course, Empire Strikes Back was where the series really grabbed me. I mean, I was just at the perfect age. I was just about, I don't know if I want to reveal my exact age, but I was,
you're a babe.
It was the perfect age when The Empire Strikes Back, and Darth Vader, and I mean, it just, yeah, that was magical. And then of course, The Return of the Jedi.
Darth Vader, that was magical?
Oh yeah, because he was so scary. I mean, that was really, I mean, it was just, it imprinted deeply. I mean, I don't think anything has ever really been quite as thrilling as like the fear of Darth Vader.
Really?
It was like the original thrill.
I guess so. I guess he was a scary guy.
He was so scary. I mean, honestly. And then Return of the Jedi, I was just mad for it. I was obsessed with Jabba the Hutt. Obviously, I love Yoda because I obtained a number of pug dogs that clearly favor the Yoda brand.
So now you can see, by the way, just not to interrupt you, but I'm kind of activating this watercolor. So you see it's turning into, so this is a Payne's gray that I'm using, and it's working out quite nicely. I'm sorry, yeah, go on. So you think it was formative?
Oh yeah.
So when you married me, like which Star Wars character were you thinking about? Yoda?
I mean, you're Han Solo.
Chewbacca? Oh, Han Solo. Okay, am I?
The most dashing of all possible Chewbacca.
Shaven Chewbacca.
I was going to say, I'm sorry to say, you might be the very opposite of Chewie, but no, you're my Han Solo for sure.
Solo being the operative word.
Well, flying around the universe.
There you go. Drawing.
Saving people.
Drawing his lightsaber. I think you did a lot of drawings of his lightsaber.
I mean, this shows your true ignorance because, of course, he didn't have one. He's not a Jedi.
Oh, that's right. So what was his deal called?
I mean, he was like a for-profit kind
hustler.
of. Yeah, he was a bit of a hustler, freelancer.
Yeah. And then there's Mandalorian. Speaking of freelancers, which is kind of like the newest kind of big thing.
Which is, I think, taking some of the ingenuity of AI, CGI. I mean,
in terms of the production, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is just so next level.
All right, so that's an example of knocking out a reasonably unattractive droid as quickly as possible. So, but I like.
Do you feel like once that dries, you might go back into it a little bit?
Yeah, I might come back into it. Let's move on. Let's let him dry.
There on the face area that is.
Yeah, I'm going to come back and make him cuter, because right now he's kind of looks like he's anonymous. But we'll make him cuter. We will.
Yeah. MK. Han had a blaster. He was a smuggler.
Blaster.
See, I knew she would know. She knows a lot about a lot of things.
MK is always here to set us straight.
Yeah, she's good. It's good to have her on our side because she knows how to fill in some of the obvious blanks we leave dangling.
Now we could have used this robot. Do you think this is a Star Wars looking robot that?
I have a delay, so I can't see what you're referring to.
This is like a little kind of football.
No, that definitely doesn't.
That's too cute. That looks too more like it came from Sony or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry about that. That's a miss. All right, we'll come back to that one.
So I do like that turquoise color.
Let's do a vehicle like this. Right? So this is a vehicle, and again, they've taken some license with it, but that's really what we wanted. We wanted them not to do an exact version of anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun to draw here. In fact, this is the kind of thing where you could do a whole episode and get like really fiddly with all those bits. Right.
We could spend the entire. In fact, that was what I had originally thought we might do, is do like a really super complicated space
but
vehicle.
Crocodilia was.
Yeah, we kind of did.
We kind of tried not to do like two super complicated things.
Yeah, we don't want to put too much demands on you.
That crocodile, I have to say again, that pre-roll and all the different variations were so wonderful. We enjoyed looking through them so much.
Yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, so this, what's nice about this is it's, it sort of looks like a real thing, but obviously it isn't. So you can take whatever liberties you want with it and make it your own. Have it be.
I mean, how do you approach something like this when you're trying to do it quickly? Like there are just a bunch of shapes that I'm seeing, like a bunch of rectangles and triangles and circles.
That's basically what I'm doing. I'm drawing shapes. My guy is a bit more kind of janky and messed up, and I don't know that I like those little kind of fins coming out of him. So I think I may not put
the triangular bits.
Like the red one and the purple. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if it needs it.
Yeah,
it might end up looking too much like a chafing dish when I'm done.
A chafing dish. I mean, how many people here even have used that term in the last 20 years?
Come on, if you get out your Betty Crocker recipe book, that's a pretty familiar thing.
Chafing dish.
I'm not even sure what that is exactly. So I'm going to add some more doodads on it.
Doodads? Is that the technical term?
It's a Star Wars term. Or maybe it's Star Trek.
Inspired by.
George Lucas came up with that idea.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this comment. It looks like a punk rock candy dish.
Interesting.
See how creative you guys are?
Candy for people who are missing teeth. You know who's really good at drawing these kind of space things is Matthias Adelson.
True.
I don't know if you guys remember Matthias, but he taught for us at Sketchbook School, and he does these incredibly elaborate, minuscule drawings. And he's done a lot of stuff of like the interior, like dashboards of space vehicles and weird floating characters coming off them.
I mean, he would spend an inordinate amount of time. Like he would take this spaceship.
Yeah, he would spend a lot of time.
A week.
He's Swedish. So there's not a lot else to do.
He's a great guy. We love him.
What do they do?
All right. It's a lot of months where his outdoor activities are limited.
Yeah. So it's either that or drink a lot of vodka, or both.
No, is vodka like the drink of Sweden? I think not.
What is it that they drink there? Aquavit?
Perhaps. I feel like that might be.
I guess I was thinking of Absolute. Isn't Absolute Swedish? Or absolutely not?
That's a great question. I mean, I really don't know the answer to that. That might not be a thing MK is going to know about.
MK? Come on. So, yeah, so again, with this marker, you can see how quickly I can just slather on some stuff, maybe too quickly, but I can just quickly do some stuff. And then, but you could also do more thoughtful, careful kinds of watercoloring. But watercolor is kind of fast and furious if you want it to be. I like that about it.
A lot of people are referencing another truly awesome film.
Which is?
Spaceballs.
So that's Mel Brooks's Star Wars.
I mean,
parody.
That might have had more of an impact on me ultimately than Star Wars itself. Spaceballs was pretty revered in my family.
And Star Wars did take itself pretty seriously, so it is ripe for a certain amount of spoof, right?
I mean, anything that's overly earnest. Right. I guess, like, Star Wars contained a good deal of humor, but in the end, it was very earnest.
Yeah.
Saving the galaxy and all.
So I'm not even thinking, in case that isn't obvious, I'm not even thinking, I'm just kind of grabbing stuff and putting it down. And does it seem Star Warsian?
I mean, there's an aspect to it.
Does it feel, I mean, it's Gregory Wars. It's like, it's my version. It's my version, and that's the way it is.
Look, are you having fun?
No, I'm not actually. This is horrible.
Okay.
Which would end.
You're going to have 3 more chances to have fun.
Okay.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Thank you. Yeah, so there's a little Star Wars vehicle of some kind.
A spaceship.
Yeah. Let's try another one, shall we?
Let's.
How about this creature? Ewok adjacent, but not Ewok. Right? Cute? What do you think? Seeing it?
Yeah, cute.
Right? Cute.
Yeah, very cute.
Kind of pug-like in its way.
I would say it's more like our mini dachshund Tim. He used to have those kind of eyes. We would see little stuffed animal creatures and we'd think of him because he always had sort of fearful.
Could be menacing. Could be like, oh, hey, I'm here.
No, this is not looking menacing.
You don't think it's menacing?
No.
Say that walked into the room right now. What would you do? You'd scream and jump up on a chair. Yeah?
I mean, either that or
I would.
I don't think I would.
Yeah. What about its ear hair? It's like a middle-aged version of a Winnie Ewok. Does it have nose hairs as well?
Oh, it only seems to have one nostril.
Oh. You're right.
Why are his fingers falling off? It's true. He's kind of like the first robot where bits are detached.
He's not a robot, though. You think he's a robot?
I said he's kind of like the first robot that his feet were not attached.
Yeah, yeah. But also, another thing I like about Star Wars is all the gear, right?
Oh, yeah. Right? I mean...
All the harnesses and the, all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, lightsabers, obviously. But just like the spaceships themselves... there were a lot of, I mean, again, inspiring all the touching of the stoves and microwaves. It's like, you just want to get like a good beep beep, right?
Well, that's the thing that Star Wars invented that had never existed before, which is in the past, these vehicles had always been perfect. Everything was pristine in the future, right? And Star Wars invented the idea that no.
Things were broken down.
Things are busted and duct taped together and all that stuff, which I think is cool. Makes it in a way much more immersive and real because it's sort of like that's the way it would be. But I guess the Death Star and all that stuff is kind of pristine. It was really more the rebels that were janky and potchkeyed together.
Yeah, the evil empire had.
They had funding.
They had funding, exactly.
They had a good budget on them. See how this, when you activate this, it really stops looking marker-like and starts looking watercolor-like. So
it almost looks like it's been like burned into the page.
Yeah, it's cool.
Burnished. It's kind of a fun word to say. Burnished.
Burn, not burnt, but burnish. So,
people are talking about Furbies. I don't think I ever had one of those. I think those were...
They were expensive,
more in the 80s, right? Did Jack have Furbies?
No. I don't think so.
I think you would remember because you probably would have bought it.
I think they were really expensive from what I remember.
Mm. I mean, would that have necessarily stopped you?
No, just an observation.
I think Jack T. Gregory had his share of expensive toys.
Yeah, when you're a really little kid, toys are no toys are that expensive. They just don't make toys that are that expensive. Actually, I'm kind of digging this guy even without any lines on him.
People are asking about these markers.
Yeah. Working
on watercolor paper, which yes,
of course, this is
watercolor markers.
What I'm using right now is actually this is mixed media paper from Winsor Newton.
But these markers work fantastically on watercolor paper.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
what they're built for.
That's their thing. I personally don't like cold press a lot of times, particularly since it isn't that great.
Danny feels about cold press the way I feel about Crocs.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Most of the time,
yeah,
there's a better solution.
Because I like to draw on paper, and drawing on cold press.
You're a hot press kind of guy.
I press hot.
So are you having fun yet?
I'm really having fun. I'm having fun because I'm kind of liking the way this is turning out, and that always makes it a bit more fun. But it's definitely, I mean, it's fun even if it sucks, so.
Yeah, Esther has a good point. The body armor looks like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, like all the leather strapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
that was a fun movie.
You know what? I'm going in.
Wait, what?
I'm going in with lines. I was trying to avoid doing lines because I thought it was cooler, but there's a lot of things I want to put in here that you need lines to do. So he's going to get 2 nostrils. He's going to get some pupils. It's all coming together.
I mean, having only 1 nostril would be a very sad thing.
It would feel pretty suffocating.
Yeah, I mean, with my allergies, I feel like I barely have 1 nostril these days.
That's true. I got to put in the ear hairs.
I mean, you're going to do that with a brush, aren't you?
No, I already just did it with a fine liner.
Oh. I don't know why when I kind of look at this, it looks like he has his mouth open. Like the whole torso is actually like his mouth hanging down.
Yeah, really? Oh, yeah, I can sort of see that. That's kind of horrifying. So we should probably name all these guys at the end. I think the trick to doing this is either to do it really slowly and achingly get in all the details, or just move as fast as you can. Sort of as if you were about to be under attack, or if you're a courtroom artist. Yeah. All right. What do you think, JJ?
I like how you captured the look in his eyes. Or maybe it's a her.
It's a they.
That's true. It somehow managed to get a bit of the touch of the Felix Scheinberger about it.
That's true. It's because I'm moving fast. So Felix, he moves quickly, takes no prisoners. So, yeah.
Although Felix would probably have given it boobies.
Yeah, that's true. But he would have liked the leather harness. So, all right, good.
Yeah,
there we go.
That was fun.
That's our guy.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Okay, so let's move on to another dude. Or not a dude. Babe. What do you think? So this is...
Again, I have a delay.
Okay, so this is like a prototypic Star Wars humanoid. Like a warrior or a... I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. I think there's some badassery going on here. Can I say that?
Yes. It's a family show, but... So this person is, she's just got a lot of gear on.
She's a resistance fighter. You can tell. Yeah, she's not part of the evil empire.
Right.
She has a little bit of tank girl about her.
So I'm not going to get too much into her features initially. Let's see if I come to regret that, but I don't want to do her all in black. I think.
Okay, nobody can see what you're drawing because you're off camera.
Ta-da! Okay.
Reset. That's true. What is going through her head? Is it like the lightsaber is attached to her helmet?
I think they're like little maybe cameras or laser, like a laser headgear thing. It's kind of cool. Drawing armor, I have to say, if you've never done it, really fun. Because it has all these, it's sort of lots of little shapes and bits that all come together to form a human. But you can add all kinds of unnecessary things to it, and look at how thin her arms are too.
Oh, it's about the same size as her scrawny little legs.
Yeah.
That's why she needs all this armor. She might be underfed in these.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think I've unfortunately drawn her too close to the edge of the paper, so she may not have feet.
Oh no. But her boots are really, like, her boots look very analog compared to the rest of her high-tech getup.
All right, I'm kind of cheating. Are you laughing at me?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But that's part of the process.
Yeah, well, roll with it.
We'll bring her back from the precipice in a minute. To start bad and then get good. It's much better than going the other direction.
There's only room for improvement. One way to go.
Right. I have to remember to go back and fix my robot too. It's probably dry.
I'll try to give you a little time check.
Okay, thank you. So I like doing just like little smudges of other colors and then blending them together.
Is that the technical term?
Smudges.
Yeah. Smudges. Burnished, smudges,
burnishing.
Chafing dish.
A chafing dish full of smudged burnishes.
Oof, I don't know. I don't know, Danny. I mean, people do get mad when I criticize your drawing, but maybe this is
the time I deserve it.
There's opportunity.
You know, this is what happens when you've got really good control of your inner critic, is you make really crappy things that you think are really great. But I don't care.
You're having fun.
I'm having more fun than when you don't comment on my really bad drawing. This is going to get better, don't worry. She's going to emerge and you're going to say, oh my God, I was there when he drew that. That was insane. Remember the Mona Lisa, and people thought that was really great, and then Gregory did that Star Wars
inspired
Star Wars warrior, and our whole idea about what good art was completely changed. Right, that may not happen today, but if it does, you're here. You're here when it happened. And what if this is a character in the next Star Wars movie? This kind of misshapen sort of person with bow legs who becomes like a huge hero, and kids are like, I want to dress as bow legs this Halloween.
I feel like this character might be like a medieval, like bow-legged, because she's been riding around on a horse.
Yeah, she's got rickets or something. Yeah, you see, it's already getting better.
Well,
Twiggy doesn't like it either.
Yeah, Baby Yoda over there just issued a big sigh. Some dogs in the neighborhood are barking. She knows she's got to chime in. Esther says, "You've got guts for trying."
Well, that's one way of putting it. That's very diplomatic of you, Esther.
Very diplomatic, yes.
You know, it's boring being perfect. I'm tired of it, and I've decided that I'm going to start doing stuff that isn't as perfect as the stuff I used to do was. I actually like this. I think if this was like a Disney concept art thing in a coffee table book about the making of Star Wars, you'd be like, that was really cool.
Well, okay, here's what I will say is the big, I mean, yes, the bow leg, the rickety bow legs, but her posture.
She's aghast.
No, but I mean, look, she's like a
she's just looked in the mirror and she's like, oh my God.
And you made her sort of, I don't know, she's got lacking core muscles in your version. You know? Like,
it's the rickets.
They
wither the core. She
needs to get on a Pilates reformer pronto.
She's had a tough time. Her village was bombed by the Empire, and she had to borrow her big brother's armor after he was brutally lightsabered by an evil Jedi. All right, so here we have
it. Deborah says, she appears to be saying, what do you mean there's no coffee? Like, my aching head.
Yeah, I mean, is there coffee in Star Wars? There's probably blue coffee. All right, well, look. She's right on the edge, as you can see. So, you know what? We do have, don't we have time for one more?
Absolutely, you've got...
All right, so let me just go in and spruce this guy up just a little bit. I'm not sure what to do about his face. Oh, I mean, I can clean it up a bit, actually.
I mean, the face is I feel like when you just had your pen and ink line, the face had...
It was nervous.
It was a cute expression.
It was my first foray into this. So now he's kind of a dirty, beaten up robot, which, again, very Star Wars kind of thing to be, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see in a minute, you're going to say, oh, that guy was so cute and dirty. I'm going to bring him back. Where is he? There we go.
I was just going to say, maybe others might like to review this reference.
Yeah.
He really has like a little camera on his face. Like, it really looks like a brownie. Oh, hi, Snorter.
All right, well, that will help. Let's draw that blue guy just because I have him available. What do you think?
Sure.
He's maybe standing next to Miss Ricketts.
I like how you did that. That was bold.
That's my trademark.
I mean, that is fun, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's, to me, doing something like that is like, then you go, okay, now what the hell do I do? So that makes it interesting. You know, but These things work better when you add details, because that kind of makes it seem like you intended it to be messed up, because it's actually a very detailed drawing, not a big messy splash of a drawing. Yeah, this one is kind of, I like all the chrome and the sort of joints and things like that, and that's pretty cool.
So Leanne asks, how do you keep the watercolor marker brush end from getting muddied with other colors after when blending?
Well, you can clean it.
Yeah.
You can just take it and you can just do that, and then it's clean. But I'm not putting a huge amount in. I'm just doing a little touch. And actually, I put a darker one on top of a lighter one, so that really wasn't a problem at all. But that's a good question. I think these are tools that could be used delicately, or they can be used like I use them. You know, where they're, I mean, I think I use them probably more like markers, really, than like watercolors. And we think of watercolors as being kind of delicate, but they don't have to be. They can be bold and fast, and you can always clean them up afterwards.
I was just noticing all the paint on your finger, and I had an actual thought. Thank goodness he's wearing a black T-shirt today.
But it's watercolor.
Yeah, but
it washes right off.
I know it does if you wash it off.
Here's another thing you can also do is you can take it. So you can take it, and you could also do this if you wanted to. You could take the brush. You could just take a little. Oh, you can also do this. This would be cool. Let's do some of that.
Fun.
Yeah. But now I've got some on me. Well, not I have some on me as well, but I have some on my brush, and
I mean, that just makes like the whole composition of the page
better, feel,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely had a hole, and then it still needs something over all the way on the left, but we could just write something there too. Yeah, that's. Now I could go in actually with the edge of the brush, and I could make it even darker. So you never get into the problem that you can sometimes have with markers where it's just too heavy. You can always soften it up and just make it more blended feeling.
I think you have to try to get those like radio dials in for the eyes. Are you going to approach that or no?
I have an idea. Check this out. This is not today's sponsor, but it is from Winsor Newton, and it's metallic watercolor.
Cotman metallics, right?
Right, Cotman. So I could take.
Is this going to work?
I'm going to take some silver, actually. So. Yeah, this is a good use of metallics. I can even put in a bit of sheen onto him. Maybe a little bit of this metallic blue, iridescent blue, be appropriate. Yeah, that was handy. And Maybe I need to put a bit of that in here too. Right.
Are you going to put in names?
Yeah, I guess we should, right? Let me get rid of the reference, though. So what are we going to name these guys? Thoughts?
I mean, I think this is a cute page. See how that just, when you put it all together, it's a totally new dimension of fun.
It's Star Wars adjacent, right?
Yeah, inspired by.
Let's start by putting a title.
Misfits from Mars. That's cute. Susan suggests Misfits from Mars. I mean, I think the title has to be May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I mean, not that often that Draw With Me Thursday occurs on May the 4th. I feel like we've done Cinco de Mayo. Of course, every regular knows we're slightly obsessed with opportunities to imbibe alcohol. So Cinco de Mayo, I think we've had tequila, margaritas. I think 1 year a tequila bottle, because you did focused on the glass. That was a really hard one.
So, all right, so let's think of some names for these guys.
Yeah.
So this is Ricketts, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so, sadly.
Is there anything incorrect about using the word rickets? I don't even know what it is. I just think of it as like
I mean, it's a disease.
Ricketts. How about rickets?
Says rickets, a disease of children caused by vitamin D deficiency, characterized by imperfect calcification, softening, and distortion of the bones, typically resulting in bow legs.
Okay, so this is Ricketts the deficient.
The D deficient.
Ricketts the deficient.
Ricketts the righteous, so that's nice.
All right, so what about this kind of furry guy? Because they also have to have names that aren't. We made a mistake. Ricketts is okay for one, but they have to have Star Wars sounding names like Ewok.
Well, I would say that's Chewbacca.
But I'm not violating trademark here.
So what's Chewy? Make it Stewie. Stewie the Furby. Or Pewy.
Right, I've done it, so it has to be.
Stewie. Stewie is good.
Stewie, but maybe it's like Stewie 300.
Yeah.
Stewie 300. And what about our little blue friend? He looks kind of a little lost and dazed, but maybe he's just Dave.
Dazed?
Dave, as in a reference to 2001 as well.
Oh, okay.
He's just Dave. And what about our plump, sideways wonky? The wonky. You know, like what are some of the names of vehicles in Star Wars?
Well, the Millennium Falcon.
This is more like the wonky pigeon. Maybe that's what it is. It's the wonky pigeon.
The Wonky Wonder.
The Wonky Wonder.
Vesla. That's kind of cute. Not Tesla.
Maybe Vesla is that first yellow robot with a dirty face.
The Y-Wing. No, it's too bulbous to be a Y-Wing.
All right, so it's called the Wonky Wonder. What about this guy then? Is he Fesla? I like Fesla. It's kind of like Fester and Fesla.
Yeah.
But is he a Fesla?
I don't know.
Let's have a look at him. What do you think?
I mean, C3PO, R2D2. Yeah, we should do something with letters and numbers.
Okay. How about...
Can you make Bumble out of letters and numbers? Chippy. Bebot.
Oh, I like Bebot.
Yeah, Bebot is cute. You know who came up with Bebot? Robert Crumb.
Figures.
Here I crumb to save the day.
All right, there's Bebot, kind of poorly
written. There was an attempt.
There was an attempt, as they say. And that looks
yeah, like, Clank was a good one.
It looks like
Clank could have been the Wonky Wonder. Could have been Clank, I think.
Oh no! Look.
Did you just smear it?
You know why? Because his name is Clank, not Dave. That just happened. That just happened.
You know, I had a feeling when you had that. I saw the blue ink on your finger, and I was like, "Today's gonna have a smear."
You mean because it's just like every other day? Clank. I like Clank. Formerly known as Dave. All right, so there we go.
All right. Hey, right on time.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, I like it. I like it.
I like it. I can't wait to see what everyone else makes.
Yes, this is gonna be awesome. All right, let's get the hell out of here because we're blown out of town.
Well,
in minutes, right?
Yeah, we have a strange weather event here. After being
nice
over 102, I think it was on Saturday, the weather strangely mellowed out to like a really friendly 79, and we're gonna go take a hike up north.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think Ricketts the Deficient might be my favorite, despite all that. All right, let's wrap this show up.
Let's giddy up.
All right, guys. So if you would like your own set of Winsor Newton Promarkers, watercolor markers, write to us at info@sketchbookskool.com. Send us your mailing address. Don't forget your mailing address. We can't fax these things to you. So we need your address, and it has to be in America. What else? Hashtag SBS Draw With Me. I want to see your Star Wars, the non-copyright edition. I want to see your pictures. So please share them on Facebook or on Instagram or in the schoolyard. And I've seen some people have written to me, they said, I don't know how to tag something. It's very simple. Basically, you have a description. You upload a picture. They ask you for a quote, a post, a description. Just put in those letters. Hashtag SBS, stands for Sketchbook School. Draw with me. Art for All podcast on hiatus right now, but there's 82 past episodes you could watch. Danny'sEssays.com, because I'm putting out an essay tomorrow about creativity. Look, in general, if you're finding that for some weird reason, I might be able to help you with your drawing and creativity.
For some weird reason.
Well, you know, if for some reason you've concluded that, despite today's session, check out Danny'sEssays.com, and I will send you an essay that will. I think essay is the wrong word. Essay seems too much.
Okay, let's.
It's an email.
Yeah.
I'll send you an email.
Yes. How about if you want to send us cookies? I just put our address in there. Yes. Some people do this, and you know what? I'm not ashamed to say, if you send me cookies, I will eat them.
There it is, P.O. Box 45365, 85064. But
cookies,
may I ask
candies?
Please don't send us cookies. The cash equivalent is fine.
No, don't send us cash. Please never send us cash.
You don't have to send us anything. You just have to, but it would be nice if you shared your drawing with us.
Yes.
Because I can only imagine what a galaxy of beautiful drawings we're going to have next week.
I know. It's going to be fun.
So, yeah.
See you next week, same time,
also
same place.
And subscribe to this channel and give a thumbs up.
Yeah,
I never asked you for that. I never asked you to do the thumbs up thing. I'm not sure why I'm doing it today. I think I'm in need of validation, encouragement, support, a pat on the back.
Is it because I ridiculed your rickets? Give Danny a hug. Give him a thumbs up, guys. All right, we got to sign off. We're over time.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.